All right, former Union Minister P Chidambaram has stirred controversy after describing the 1984 Operation Blue Star as the wrong way to reclaim the Golden Temple, saying former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi paid with her life for that mistake. Speaking at a literature event in Kasauli, Chidambaram said that there was no disrespect to service officers, but the operation should have been handled differently. He added that it was a cumulative decision of the army, police intelligence and civil service, and former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi should not be the sole one to blame. A political slugfest has also started over these remarks, while the Congress party is moving to distance itself, accusing Mr. Chidambaram of echoing the BJP's line. The BJP has used the moment to ask the Congress to apologize for the 1984 operation. Let's firstly listen in to what Mr. Chidambaram had to say.
No disrespect to any service officers, military officers here, but that was a wrong way to retrieve the Golden Temple. Few years later, I think 3-4 years later, we showed the right way to retrieve the Golden Temple by keeping out the army.
You're talking about Black Thunder, the second
but
operation?
I think you have...
I've delved into that also, but before...
You have dealt with very sketchily and in passing. I don't think you did.
All right, joining us at this point in time is Mr. Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist. Major General Anuj Mathur, defense expert, is also with us on the program. Gautam, how do you look at the statements that Mr. Chidambaram has made, saying that this was a mistake that Indira Gandhi made, perhaps in recent memory, or even for that matter in historical memory? I don't remember of a Congress leader saying that Indira Gandhi made a mistake. Is Mr. Chidambaram coming around to the culpability that the Congress party has denied for so many decades?
I think he's distancing from the top leadership. This is not the first remark he's made which is at variance with the party line. He also said that there was no reaction to 2611 because we were advised against it by the Americans. Similarly, he also said there was no reaction to the Parliament attack, again, because we were advised against it by the Americans. So he tarred the Congress and the Vajpayee government with the same brush there. And now he's saying, this is all revisionism. He's saying that Operation Blue Star was a mistake, and a mistake for which Indira Gandhi paid for with her life. Now, this is all well known, and for Chidambaram at this point in his life and career to make these remarks, he is a very cool, considered, intelligent person, and there is no doubt a deeper motive behind all this. And as far as I can fathom, he's distancing himself from the top leadership, i.e. the Gandhi family. And it's a well-known formula. Others have in the Congress of late have also begun to do that. Shashi Tharoor most prominently, Manoj Tiwari, several others are starting to make remarks which are embarrassing for the top leadership and embarrassing for the government that they served prior to, the current dispensation.
All right. Major General Mathur also with us on the program. General Mathur, what do you make of these comments, especially the fact that the emphasis was on the army being sent, and that is exactly what resulted in the former Prime Minister's assassination by her own bodyguards?
Jain Vinit, I would like to make a statement before I answer your question. See, there are two things. One, political decision taken to use the force inside Golden Temple. Second one, how the actual execution of that order was done. So I want to make a clear statement that the execution of that order was done in a tactical manner, and I was actually in service that time, and I belonged to a regiment which has 50% Sikh troops. I was commanding, though I was in Sikkim, I was commanding Sikhs at that point in time when this whole thing has taken place. So, as far as the military operations are concerned, I don't think there was anything wrong with those military operations. The army carried out the way army normally carries out an operation within your own country. I believe even the shoes had been removed before you entered the holy shrine. But that shrine had been converted into a fortress. And that conversion of fortress had been done under the guidance of an army of a very senior retired Shabik Singh, retired army officer who had been dismissed for some reason or the other that we'll not go into. But he's the one who oversaw the preparation of Golden Temple and conversion of that Golden Temple into a fortress. And that is where the military action had to take place, and the military action took place. Now, as far as the call to take that action and call to send in the army is concerned, that is a political call. That call has been taken by Mrs. Gandhi, and no one else probably could have taken that call. And the question now, what Mr. Chidambaram is trying to say is whether that call to send in army was correct or not is a political issue. But having gone inside, the military performed in a manner in which any professional army would do, and they made sure minimum collateral damage, and they made sure that the terrorists, Bhindranwale and everyone else whoever else was there, were neutralized to the extent they should have been. So what I personally feel that the question here should be whether Mrs. Gandhi took a right call to send in the army or not. And my take on that is that it is a particular time at which a prime minister has to take a call whether they allow things to happen that way or they will not do it. A lot of people have paid. Not only Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated, General Vaidya, who was then chief of the Indian Army, he was also assassinated. So a lot of other things had taken place. That probably was the beginning of a mass, uprising, or I will not call it uprising, mass scale insurgency getting infused into the rank and masses of Punjab. And that probably was, it actually took off. Now, as far as the comparison between Black Thunder and Operation Blue Star is concerned, they are all military ways of doing things. So the objective, politico-military objective has to come from the government. And that military objective must say that we want this, like was done in Sindoor, we want this, that this was given to the government, and that is it. So as far as my take is concerned, we need the military actions executed on ground correctly, but the political decision to send in the army, question mark, I also do not agree with that. It was a wrong action because there could have been a way. In the sense is you choke them, you starve them logistically. After all, how long can they sustain with what they already have within this? So this could be a manner in which it could have been sorted out. But probably some elections, some other political compulsions, some other pressures on the prime minister at that point in time. I agree that this was not the best call taken by the prime minister.
So let me open Mr. Naveen Dubey also into this conversation. Mr. Dubey, do you think something like this could be imaginable today? If a situation like this came up, would a leader get into something like this, considering the fact that sensitivities related to religion, sexual orientation, and the belief system and social media, reporting things in less than a few seconds, is so actively involved in a popularity or the unpopularity of any regime? Do you think something like this would have been possible today, or even advisable today?
No, not at all, Vineet. I've gone through the entire statement of Mr. P Chidambaram. Right now, he is revealing such thing which is unbelievable. Although the decision regarding the Blue Star taken by the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and deputing the armed forces there and to initiate the operation. It was a quite successful operation. It was I think it was a very brave, intelligent, and besides the political benefits or losses, it was a very great decision by the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi at that time. So right now, whatever P Chidambaram is saying, or earlier we seen Digvijay Singh, we seen Manishankar Iyer, Manish Tiwari, so many leadership, we can say the second in command leadership is giving the statement against the Congress, and such type of the political drama is being created by them. For what I can't understand, I think there may be some differences between the leadership of the Congress, but the P Chidambaram, you was the senior most minister in the cabinet of Dr. Manmohan Singh, and so many allegations were framed on you from the opposition at that time, and you were behind the bars for some time in Tihar jail. Ultimately, I think it's all is a managed thing by any of the top leadership of this country. So the words being revealed from the mouth of Mr. P Chidambaram are not his own words.
Okay, there seems to be a problem with your connection, Mr. Dubey. Let me open Rajalakshmi Joshi here as well. Rajalakshmi, what do you categorize this? Is this guilt? Is this remorse? Is this introspection that has led to Mr. Chidambaram, making such a statement? He's someone who's more or less always advocated the principles of Congress and upheld what the Congress has done in its decades as the government of the nation. Where do you think this is stemming out of? Is he going down the Shashi Tharoor route? What's going on over here?
Hello, Vineet, and thank you for having me on your show. Yes, this is a very interesting discussion, considering that Mr. Chidambaram has been making these kind of statements lately. If you remember, he has made some similar remarks about the 26/11 and the inaction, I would say lack of action after the, deadly attacks on Mumbai. So, that actually has been followed by these remarks now today. So this, in fact, this was during, I think, a book launch, and he was moderating a session apparently, and he made these remarks saying that though he doesn't really shift the entire blame onto Mrs. Indira Gandhi, but he said that was the wrong way to retrieve the Golden Temple. So yes, I think that he is introspecting into a lot of things, considering the 26/11 attacks as well, and even now the kind of inaction or extreme action. It was inaction in the case of 26/11, and it was extreme action in the case of the Golden Temple. So that yes, very rightly, that was actually a very sensitive place. So that is a place of worship for the Sikhs, and you can imagine that definitely there should have been a lot more thought given into this, even though yes, there was a lot of
Rajalakshmi, a lot of experts from earlier decades have also questioned, hypothetically, would Indira Gandhi have done the same thing had it been a mosque?
I don't think so, Vineet, because I don't think that would have happened if it was a mosque. So that looks a little unlikely. So here, I think that yes, it was a little hasty decision, even though Mr. Chidambaram has clarified that there was a lot of discussion among the security forces, and he has not shifted the blame entirely to her. But then, all said and done, she is the one at the helm of affairs. So very obviously, she will be the one to have the last word. So I don't think that she would have actually taken this kind of a decision if it was a mosque. So, I think that the Congress was definitely, it had a very soft approach when it came to dealing with Muslims. So even recently, like I was talking about the inaction after the 26/11, so that has been the approach of the Congress somehow. So that I think is something that definitely had hit the wrong nerve in when it came to the Operation Blue Star, and quite obviously, she paid for it with her life. Now, I would also like to remind you of something similar when it came to the IPKF. When it came to Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, another prime minister of ours. So, and he also paid very heavily with his life. So, and there again, he was actually a little relaxed when it came to his own security. So then, I think that somehow they have definitely had their policies wrong in some places. So they should have given a lot more thought to how these things should be approached. I'm sure the intention was good, whether it was about flushing out the terrorists, who were holed up in the Golden Temple, or whether it was about resolving the terror issue in Sri Lanka. So there also he could have looked at it as maybe given it a little more sympathetic view, or some, a little more empathetic view also when it came to this the Lankan Tamilians. So there again, there also he paid for it with his life. Now, I don't think that they would have had a similar approach when it came to any Muslim terrorist, Vineet. So all said and done, I think that that has been definitely very badly overlooked. In fact, you must have heard about how, there is this thing about how Mrs. Sonia Gandhi shed tears, after the Batla House encounter. So that actually again, it kind of shows you how their priorities or their loyalties lie with certain people. I don't know what is the kind of message that they're trying to give across, but I think that definitely all these incidents, they give a very wrong message, Vineet.
Gautam, how do you respond to what Rajalakshmi has said? Obviously, times are different today than they were. The realities are different than they were in the 80s. Indira Gandhi was, to a large extent, by her own admission, a reformist and, an iron lady, just like Margaret Thatcher. She had to prove a point, by doing this.
Well, if you recall, Musharraf, he attacked a mosque, Red Mosque, and killed a lot of people inside the mosque. And he never lived it down. He had to go into exile. There was a fatwa against him, and so on and so forth. So whenever you do attack a religious shrine for whatever political reason, the backlash is likely to be out of proportion. Now, it's well known, of course, that the Congress uses the minorities as a vote bank and favors their requirements almost to the day, even though they are not in power in most of the country. But that is a thing apart. Attacking people in a holy shrine. Now, the other irony, as far as Operation Blue Star goes, is that Bhindranwale was created by Mrs. Gandhi in order to split the Akali Dal and reduce their power. She created a Frankenstein monster and then lost control. This was in conference, I am told, with Sanjay Gandhi in those days. And ultimately, she put an end to it all right. But I believe, in all likelihood, this is not probably in the public domain, she was privy to some intelligence that made it mandatory. And I would imagine most of it is to do with Pakistan, which is just across the border in Amritsar, to act swiftly. She couldn't let it fester. And she knew the consequences. She made remarks to that effect a few days before she died. And it wasn't really a miscalculation. She was a very seasoned politician. She knew the consequences of her actions. And she did not do this, in a knee-jerk fashion in order to attack a small minority religion and their most revered shrine. She did it for the protection of India because there was something larger afoot about to happen. Vineet.
General Mathur, Gautam is right. There were more elements to her decision than meet the eye. But the fact of the matter is, like you also said, enunciated earlier, it could have been handled differently. And perhaps Indira Gandhi, the power that she had and the image that she boasted of, she was unforgiving, even to her own party members who opposed her. Perhaps that is the reason why, there were no naysayers against her decision at that point in time.
Absolutely, Vineet. The issue is that what actions, what prompted her to take that action? There was as Gautam was trying to say, much larger thing could have been there, and there were people. I'm telling you, there were retired generals of the Indian Army who were operating inside that Golden Temple at that point in time, preparing them, conducting coordinating their actions. So the fact of the matter is that this was a call taken by that Prime Minister at that point in time. She must have thought that there is a possibility of this, mushrooming into a much bigger affair, and which may actually somewhere dent the unity and integrity of the nation. It must have been playing up on our mind. So again, the fact of the matter, it continues to remain that it is a call taken by the government at that point in time, good, bad, ugly. After that, it has been executed on ground by the armed forces in a manner in which it should have been done. But as I said earlier, a better way could have been found out. A easier way to do it, unless she had exact information which indicated that if it is delayed any further, it might get into a much bigger and much more difficult situation, then it is all right. But otherwise, it could easily have been handled in a different manner. Put a siege around it. Don't allow anything to go inside. Starve them logistically and just pull them out the way they did it in Black Thunder 1, and more importantly, they did in Black Thunder 2. So that is the kind of thing that could have been there. To my mind, Chidambaram's admission, as Rajlakshmi was saying, there are a large number of them who are trying to give this kind of statements. Situation within the Congress is quite precarious as of now, but that fact I will continue to state that it was a call taken by the Prime Minister of that time, and it was executed brilliantly by the Indian Army under the aegis of a Sikh commander binding.
Fair enough. Great points that we've been able to discuss, but we've run out of time. Appreciate everybody who was a part of this conversation. We're going to dip into a short break on that note. We'll be right back.